welcome back to our channel.
I'm Coco.
And I'm Mare.
And this is CoCo&MareTV, as you know. And we are back with another video, y'all. Alright, today we just wanted to come with a video where we were just kind of encouraging and uplifting you guys. We know that it's a lot going on in the world. We know we've had a lot going on in our own personal lives and just dealing with different stuff. And we just felt like people need some encouragement and some hope. And to feel like you are not alone, and you're not
of faith or something
to hold on to, because we just had it in our spirit and we agreed on it this week. Like, you know, people need some encouragement, because we certainly needed some encouragement and been trying to encourage each other and just lift each other up. And I feel like we're not the only people feeling like that, especially in this day and age. So
it's like everybody is going through some type of spiritual awakening or some spiritual warfare or something spiritual, and some people don't know. I was gonna say, whether you know it or not, there's a lot of things going on in the world currently, and a lot of people, especially in their personal lives, they don't really have an understanding of what's going on, and so they don't know who to properly seek. You know what I'm saying? They're seeking other entities that are not, you know, the proper source. So it's like we want to just encourage you guys to really like understand, like, God is the proper source. You know, we're not trying to like knock anybody for their beliefs or anything, but at the end of the day, like, the real source is the Most High, Heavenly God Almighty. Like, He is the one that you need to be seeking so heavy right now, like in today's time, because things are going to get worse before it gets better. And right now, we need God more than ever, because things are just, it's just a lot.
If you do not have God at this time and don't have some type of relationship with Him, we just ask you to, we're not trying to force nothing on you, but if you're at a point in your life where you're like, I don't know if I believe in this, I don't know how I feel about this, really sit there. And this is the thing about God, He will prove Himself to you. Ask God to show Himself to you and make Himself real to you. Because in the times that we're in right now, to get through and to really be able to hold on and have peace and have a sound mind, which is something you cannot take for granted, having a sound mind and having that peace that only God can give you, that surpasses all understanding. You have to be able to know your source and where it comes from. And you have to be able to know, like, I'm going to pray to God, you know, and you don't have to get to God through anything. You just go straight to Him and He will help you.
Just start talking.
Just start talking
to somebody,
like you talking to your best friend. And some people, everybody has not, minds have not been renewed or nothing like that. Some people still cuss, some people still do this and that.
But that doesn't
if
mean
you talking to God like that, bruh, Lord, you drop the F-bomb or something, He don't care. He knows your heart. He knows what you're coming for. He knows what it is that you are crying out about.
You're right. He's going to still talk to you.
And He's still going to come through for you. And this is the thing, because we are not perfect people by any means.
At all.
Not a stretch of the imagination.
And He knows that.
He knows that. And He takes you right where you are. And He also knows, too, that where we were going to be, the choices that you're going to make, any decision that you've made that you may feel like, dang, I should have never did that, or nobody will accept me after doing that. He don't care about that.
He does not.
He just wants you to come to Him as you are and put your burdens to Him.
Sins and all.
Do you hear me? And I feel like, me personally, I've been carrying a lot of burdens and trying to carry it on my own, which is like, I already know God can take my burdens, but I'm still sitting here not even consciously thinking about it and still trying to carry them and bear them.
Because we're still human at the end of the day, so we still have our human moments where we're trying to tackle it on our own, forgetting like, oh wait, God, my bad.
This your job. Let me get this to you.
Let me get out of my humanness and seek you, because I mean, we're human, so we're going to have those moments where we're trying to tackle it on our own.
And we just want to encourage people to, like, when you're feeling like that and you're feeling those burdens and you're feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulder, you feeling like making decisions that you may not want to make, or you just going through life, even with little things, like just little small stuff that you think is irrelevant, God cares about.
He cares about
Honey,
it all.
I was trying to get to a doctor's appointment, and before I got to the appointment, because I was already running late, I said, Lord, I need a parking spot. Okay? I'm riding around that parking lot, and I'm over here didn't I see a spot, honey? And then I said, Lord, I told you I needed a parking spot. Girl, I kept riding. There was an open spot. And then, do you hear me? Something.
I've seen it too.
People may think, oh, that's a coincidence. Oh, that no. I asked him for something. I believed that he was going to get it for me, and trusted that even if that was something small to somebody else, that was something big to me, because I had to be to my appointment on time. And he gave that to me.
But that's the thing, people get misconstrued. Things don't happen because you don't have any faith or belief behind it. You have to have, the biggest thing you have to have is faith and belief behind something. That is the only way something is going to be manifested. That's the only way that God is going to have things happening for you. He got to see that you really trust him, that he's going to pull up for you, that you have faith in him, that he's going to pull up for you. If you don't have that, then it's just not going to be manifested, because he see that you don't believe in him. You don't trust him. You don't trust in yourself. You don't trust the process. You don't have anything behind what you're asking for. So it's like, if you have that, he's going to give it to you, whether it's instantly or a couple of days later.
And sometimes we want, like she said, sometimes we want stuff instantly, happen overnight. Sometimes you're not ready for what you're asking for.
Right.
And sometimes you haven't gone through that process to receive what you're asking for. So God had to let you keep going through so that you can grow, so that you can change in an area, so that you can have more faith, or whatever the case may be. But he did not, your prayers and the things that you're saying to him has not gone void. Sometimes it's a no. Sometimes it's simply a no, because he already knows that thing is not for you.
Yeah.
You know? So we really have to think about that.
Reevaluate. If God is not giving it to me now, you ask God, okay, Lord, what is it that I need to be learning? What is it that I need to be shifting? What is it that I need to change or getting an understanding of, so that when what I'm asking you for comes to me, I know how to handle it. I won't mistreat it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't go in the spirit of attacking God, or begging or pleading, or woe is me, or belittling yourself because you feel as though I'm asking for something, but God is not giving it to me, so that means that I'm not worthy, or whatever the case is. You start to make it into a negative. Start seeking him and asking him, okay, Lord, like, what is it that I need to be shifting in order to get what I'm asking you for? So
because sometimes it's sometimes
it's not the season for you to
it's not your season. It's not what's going on.
And that's okay.
And still be encouraged in that, and knowing that, okay, if sometimes we want something so bad, we want it so bad, and it may not be for you, or it may not be your season for that. And because we want something so bad, we're not willing to give some things up in order to get the thing that God has for us. And he can't give you something new if you still holding on to old stuff.
Right.
So a lot of people, it's about letting go. And breaking free of those things that are keeping you and holding you in bondage, honey.
So God can start putting things into order for me. But it was like, okay, my child, I need you to go through your healing process. I need you to start to let go. So now I can place things into your life now in the season that I've been waiting to give you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm learning to let go still now to this day. So it's like, if you're out there,
you hear me,
still trying to learn how to let go, like,
you're not alone.
No, you're not alone.
You don't need to feel bad about it. Just know, let go when he say let go. Don't drag it on.
Can be very scary.
Yes. It can be scary because that thing might have been comfortable. That thing may have been your security thing. But guess what? If he say let it go, let it go. And you got to always know that if God wants you to let something go, he always going to pull up with something better. He never going to take something and not give you something to replace it that ain't 100 times better.
Okay? He wants us to go from glory to glory. He wants us to live abundant and prosperous. Like he wants that for us. So if he removes something out of your life that you might have thought that was like just such the greatest thing, trust and believe he's going to replace it with something so much more better. But you just gotta, like how I'm going through the waiting process, honey. He's working on my patience so heavy. Do you hear me,
girl?
Like, it's
I've been working on
my
patience too.
It's a struggle
but listen,
every day for me.
When you ask God for something, I know I've been asking him, Lord, I need more patience. When you ask him for something, he gonna give you, put you in them situations to test whether you gonna have that to get that more patience.
He like, oh, you
okay? You want more patience?
You okay?
Let me bring this customer here who about to work your nerve, okay? Exactly. And let's see, are you getting more patience? Like, and this is the thing too. We got it. Sometimes you're going to go through a test until you pass it.
Girl.
So it's better, because doing the same thing over and over again is what? Insanity. Instead of driving yourself insane, learn from your mistakes so that you can go on to the next process. Exactly. Because sometimes people feel like your life is a revolving door,
But it's because you're allowing that to happen.
You're allowing it, and you're not learning from the mistakes so that you can make a better decision. Your own way. Yes. And a lot of times we sit there and instead of wanting to look and evaluate ourselves, we blaming God. Oh, God don't care. He don't hear me. He don't. This person is that. These person did this to me. What have you been doing that has been different?
It be us.
Yes.
It be us.
What are you doing?
We don't like to self-check ourselves.
No, we don't like to look in that mirror. And that's why it's always easier to blame everybody else and blame your circumstances and blame everything around you instead of checking on yourself and being like, you know what?
That's the easy route. Because then if we take accountability and check ourselves, then it becomes real to us that we're like, dang, I'm actually not this kind of person that I've been trying to
be or portraying myself to be.
Yeah.
And you don't have, and this thing
is, it's okay because we're not perfect.
We're not.
So it's like we're gonna have flawless ways. Like we're gonna disappoint ourselves at times, and it's okay because that's all part of growth. Like don't beat yourself up about it, but it's still you need to at least be the main one checking you. If don't nobody else around you in your circle checking you,
you need to check yourself.
You need to be checking yourself.
Have a daily evaluation with yourself. Like, do I need to grow in this area? Oh my gosh. I was having a conversation with someone and like literally this person kind of pointed out to someone about themselves and instead of that person receiving it and like really looking back on it like, do I do that? Am I that type of person? They took it as an insult and a way to change it and make themselves the victim out of a situation. Don't thrive your life on playing victim, okay? You're not going to get nowhere with that. You'll get attention for the moment. You'll get people to pat your back and make you feel like, oh, yeah, you're right. Woe is you.
Yeah.
But you got to really, that self-evaluation thing.
It's very important.
Okay? And when you really get into spending time with God and get into his word and things, you can start seeing a reflection of who you are.
Of who you are through people. He will start to mirror it through other people, and you can start to have a more of a spirit of discerning to understand that, dang, like I be doing this, like I actually do these things,
and some of them things, and you'll realize that too by some of the people you attract and some of the relationships that you have had in the past, and you look back on that and think like, dang, because like spirits will come together.
Exactly.
So it's like, what in me is attracting that?
Yes.
What about me is attracting this type of person? And or these type of friends,
right?
And you really and that's another thing of self-evaluation.
Exactly.
Because just how like people say all the time, when you sit around millionaires, you'll be a millionaire. When you sit around broke people, you'll be a broke person.
Exactly.
That stuff is real.
That energy,
that stuff is real. That
so
spirit
real.
that they carry, that's all something. Y'all got something in common. And that's why y'all all able to hang and do this and that. So what is it that you're having in common with different things in life? And that's about self-evaluation.
Exactly.
So
all of that comes into play. But I wanted to say that when it comes down to everybody wanting to know the truth and like the saying, you want the truth but you can't handle the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people get the truth, you really don't want to hear the truth.
No.
Because if somebody really told you something about yourself and you hear it, you don't receive it as, okay, well, maybe I do these things. You receive it more as an attack.
Mm-hmm.
You receive it more as an insult. Instead of like reevaluating yourself and taking a step back and thinking like, okay, well, maybe I do this. Or, you know, maybe I need to be more mindful, or whatever the case is. It's like we don't really want to hear the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we want people to be real with us. We want you to keep it 100. But at the end of the day, that ain't really what you really want.
If when people are trying to do that to you and you like, that ain't me. And sometimes this is the thing. This when discernment comes in, because sometimes you have those people who just want to tell you something to try to tear you down. But then sometimes you have those people where if you know that they really truly have cared about you and are saying something from a point of like, hey, I'm just seeing this and I think like maybe, you know what I'm saying? And then you still take it as an attack, then that's where you got to kind of look at yourself.
So really seeking God and asking him for a spirit of discernment is very important, because then you'll be able to decipher between the two. So.
And we're just speaking from these things. We really had prayed before this and asked God, you know, just lead us and guide us on what to say. We don't know what it is that everybody needs. We don't know who may need to hear this. It may be one person who need to hear this. We don't care. If that one person hears it and God talks to you or touches you and just kind of helps you to adjust in something, or even help you to feel encouraged, like you are not alone. We're not just talking about these things from what we've seen. It's because we're going through it. That we've been through it.
To this day.
He's tempering us.
Right?
And, do you hear me? To this day.
Still going through spiritual growth.
Trying to make us better people and take us on a journey and try each and every day in different stages of our life. Like, so it's not something that we're like not having experience.
Yeah, we out here experiencing it just like y'all. Like, for real, like real life is hitting us.
Learning and growing and having to stay strong and having to know where my source and my peace comes from.
Exactly.
Personally, I know
I've been
that.
having to seek peace so heavily for the past 4 or 5 months now, and it's been hard. Like, the devil has really been trying to take my peace away from me, but God has been getting me through. He's really been getting me through. It's like I've been going through one situation after another, and it's hard. It is so hard. When you're going through it, when you're in the midst of it, it seems like it's no hope. It seems like, Lord, is this all that, you know, is this the end all for me? Like, is this what my life consists of? Is this what I'm going to be really going through? Because it's like when you're going through it month after another month after another month, it's like, dang, Lord, like, when is my breakthrough coming? Like, when is all of this going to end? Like, when am I going to pass the test? It looks like just, you know what I'm saying, there's no end to this. But at the end of the day, it is. It's like he doesn't allow us to endure these things for no reason. And he allows specific people, though, to endure, like, certain levels of this.
When they say he give his battles to his strongest soldiers,
that's real.
Okay,
that is so real, and I'm becoming to have an understanding of that, and not taking it on as like pitying me or feeling sorry for me. I'm taking it as it's only making me stronger. At the end of the day, I know that whatever else he has me endure is going to be a piece of cake, because I know I done already been through hell. Like, I know, and I know who to seek. You know what I'm saying? I know it's going to be hard, but because I am a child of God and I have that connection with him, it's not going to be as hard as opposed to somebody that doesn't know Christ, that doesn't have a connection with him. So it's like, I know that he's going to get me through it. It's going to be hard, but it's like, I know he's going to give my spirit a sense of peace.
You know what? And I just felt on my spirit to say that I know a lot of people have been tainted by church, by religion,
Yeah.
by pastors, by people in the church, by just different things that you have grown up in your life with and experienced, and not taking away from them experiences because they happen.
Yeah.
They hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to take from those things that those things and those people were not representations of God.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you know God and a true living God, and you know that He is love,
yeah,
He is peace, He is these things that is everything. Anything that is against what it says He is not Him.
Yeah.
He's not strife. He's not backbiting. He's not backstabbing. That's not God. So anything that you've experienced that has occurred that was like that wasn't Him.
Yeah.
And sometimes I know I had to learn too, you can't put people on this pedestal, and because they are humans,
They're
and humans are going to fail you.
You can't define God based off of human
They
beings.
will always fail you because they're humans.
We're flawed.
So
people.
don't let what humans have done to you taint how you see God.
Yeah, that's why it's important to have
give Him another chance and tell Him, like, God, you know what? I went through this situation and I went through this circumstance. It wounded me. I have scars from it.
Yeah.
So I don't trust and I don't believe the way I used to.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you show yourself true to me, I'd rather have a relationship with you than be scarred by people who were being religious or who were in religion.
Right.
Instead of showing who Christ truly was.
Right.
So I just feel like that on my heart to say to people.
But
because
as I got older, I got an understanding of that.
I did too. And you know, excuse me, but my grandma always used to say it's a scripture in the Bible that talks about how the donkey was talking to was it Paul or Saul? Sorry if I messed that up. But the God sent a donkey to talk to him. And my grandma used to tell me, sometimes people is just the donkey or the ass. That's another word for a donkey. She would say ass. To talk to you.
Yeah.
Because God just want to talk to you through them. So don't even look at the donkey, but look at whatever the message was. Because sometimes it's going to come out a donkey.
That's real.
Okay?
Talk.
For real. My grandma used to tell me that. Like,
God would speak through anybody.
Okay. And sometimes take the meat and spit out the bones.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay? Take the meat of it and spit out the bones. Anything that was not relevant, let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you had and that created a foundation for you where you could have a relationship with Him, take that on.
Right.
Don't let what all these people did keep scarring you and wounding you, because some of the people don't even know they did it. Sure. Some of the people, you got to let it go. Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. Forgive them.
People be operating through so many type of emotion, internal things, just problems that they dealing with, on top of trying to be so religious instead of being spiritual
and having some type of relationship.
People just be all over the place, honey. So it's like at the end of the day, you cannot look through human beings for God, because
even though
you're gonna be led astray, honey, bamboozled out here, lost and in the sauce, honey.
So that's why you have to have your own personal relationship with God, so that you can be able to decipher and discern between what is real and what is not. And that's that.
And that's just what it is.
For real. That's for real. And that's what we have learned and grown and came to understand, so that even though we have gone through things and we have seen people that we might have admired or had on this pedestal do what's wrong or whatever the case may be. And that's why it didn't completely turn us away from God.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that where people just get completely turned away from God because of an incident that happened, because you just had so much invested into a person and that you thought had a relationship with God, and then they do something that is human.
Yeah.
And it just taints your whole thing.
We got to stop putting expectations on people that we have for them when they don't even have the capacity to even have that. So it's like, it's also in us to not put so much expectations on people that we have for them, and then also not trying to look for God in them as people, well. So,
honey, yeah.
But it's okay.
Yes,
it's okay.
We just want to give y'all a virtual hug.
Yes.
Tell y'all you're not alone. Send you out some love and some positivity and some peace and some joy, because it's been some sad times. Like, and I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that. These last 2 years have been a mess. Like literally a mess.
I mean, it is the end time.
You know,
so
honey,
the things in the world is in the Bible, so it's like
it's coming to pass.
It's real.
So whether you believe it or not, you know.
That's why I said
it is what it is. But
it's time. Today is the time to seek God more than ever
before, because you want to be able to have that when all of the things that are going on, to still have that peace. When it looks like destruction is all around, you want to still be able to know
all the chaos going on into the world, but you sitting over here just
blessed and highly favored,
cooling, because you got peace that God is placing on your heart, placing on your spirit. You're not shaking. You're not, allowing that to shift you, because you good. You're in the presence of the Most High. So it's like, it don't even phase you.
Exactly. So we hope we could encourage you. We hope that we could just bless you with something today, and just to feel some love and some encouragement. That's what we wanted to do today. And we hope y'all got something, and y'all just feel like, okay, I'm not alone. Okay, let me do this, let me do that. And I know we personally have just been like fasting and praying and just doing different things like that will just help us to grow and to just develop. We know
that's a 3-day fast if you didn't know.
Yeah, and it can be longer if you wanted to. It's whatever God leads you to do.
Yeah,
and also too, dang, what was I about to say? I cannot remember. It'll come back. But yeah, anyway. We hope y'all enjoy this.
Yeah, we hope we touch somebody.
Yes,
one person.
If it was just that one person,
that's still fulfilling.
If put in the comments if you have anything that you feel like you're going through, or message us on our to pray about, speak on, or go into depths about. We definitely will. You know, we've already told y'all this channel is about our journey as well, and to just show people like, hey, this is life. Like, so if you have a prayer request, if you have anything that you have a question about, put it in the comments, or you can DM us on our social media, which is CoCo&MareTV.
Yeah. Well, it will be in the description box.
Yeah, we'll put it in there. Reach out to us if you just have a prayer request or anything like that, or just something that you want to just get off your chest and talk about. You need someone who can uplift you in a certain area. We are here. Yes. And
we just want to be vessels for God. And any way possible we can bless your spirit, then we're here, so.
Okay. And we just thank you guys who are subscribed to us. We thank our future subscribers, because we know y'all are coming.
Yes.
And we know y'all are going to love it here.
Yeah, you definitely
So we are just trying to be consistent. We know we keep saying that, but we're going to keep saying it until it is, okay?
Stop with your mind spiritually, then when you're speaking into the universe, it will be manifested. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna get to the point where we're consistent. But
we got it.
Keep tuning in with us. Keep watching our videos, showing us love. All right, guys. So until next time, we will see you guys in our next video.
Yes. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Yes, don't forget, put on those notifications so when we do post a video,
you will know. Okay.
All right, friends. We will see you guys later.
Bye.